Oh, thank God for that. So we've got a minute to go. I was going to stand up, but I need to sit down, I think, today because I'll be going.
No, I think you're better to sit for this because you don't want to be moving all around the screen. And
No,
now I
don't.
might turn my video off. They don't need to see me.
No, that's okay. Whatever. But I'll start letting everybody in because they'll come in. 65
And I'll mute.
registered, but if I get 20, I'll be happy.
Oh, look. Do you know what, Bron? If you get 2, you've started. Doesn't matter.
I know. And the other thing is people are coming to me saying, oh, I can't come because we're preparing for a cyclone. We're in the Daintree. And I'm like, well, thanks for letting me know. You're off the hook.
Yeah, yeah. That's nice that they let you know too.
It is. Yeah, a couple of people have let me know that they can't make it but really want it. Anyway, it's 10 on the dot. Let's start.
All right, I'll just turn off I'll mute myself.
Yeah. I'll just close the door. Hello, everybody. I'm just going to wait a minute for everyone to come in today because we've got a crowd, which is fabulous. Super excited. So I'll just wait 1 minute until everybody is here. Got a few on there. Does anyone want to out themselves in the chat? Trish, yay! Trish is my sidekick today. If you hear, Trish and I swam together this morning. So just a little anecdote before we get started while we're waiting for people, because with Zoom, everybody comes along. So Trish and I swam with dolphins this morning. We live in a wonderful part of the world called Edith Vale Beach in Melbourne, Port Phillip Bay. And it's a little slice of paradise that nobody knows about except for people coming on right now. I've just told you all about Edith Vale. And Trish and I swam in our little swimming group. So we're cold water swimmers. We swim all year round. We're completely mad. But today we swam with about 30 dolphins. And we paid $0 for that experience. So we consider ourselves so lucky that, for our morning swim, there were dolphins and birds. There must have been a big fish feeding frenzy. And we even reckon a couple of seals. So down in Port Phillip Bay, we do have a resident seal that goes up and down, apparently. He's even made the news in the paper. He's completely massive. We've called him Alex the seal. If you're from the 80s, you'll get that. But anyway, here we are.
I've taken myself off mute. I've just got something in on the Q&A from Robin Shaw, who says that the chat's currently disabled. But
is it?
I'm using the chat, but maybe it's only enabled for you and your sidekick.
Let me have a look. Trish to...
it does say host and panelists.
It does, doesn't it? Well, what I've done, thanks, Robin, you are a legend. What I've done in the past, Trish, is we can use the Q&A as the chat. So I think we might just do that. I thought I switched the chat on this morning. Maybe I forgot to press save in the excitement of it all. But if we can just use the Q&A as the chat, that will be great. Trish, if there's anything there that comes up that I need to know about or you want to contribute, just gel out. So is that okay? Everyone got that?
All good.
Awesome. So I'm now going to close my chat. So I'm going to start sharing my screen now. We'll get onto it. Share the screen. Alrighty. Now I need to go into my present mode for Canva. if anyone uses Canva, I love the new Canva presentation. Exit full screen. How are we looking? Do we have, do you guys have a full screen?
From my perspective, I'm seeing, yeah, we've got coming through on the Q&A either no or it's very small.
Let me go into.
I'm seeing it full screen, which is.
Oh, weird.
Well, I'm seeing your whole screen, not just your slides.
What about that? Is that better?
That looks good.
That's great because I don't have my notes, so we're going to be freewheeling now. So
yeah,
forgiving if you can. So let's get on with it, everybody. So thank you for coming along today. This is really exciting. And I am presenting, we're talking today about ChatGPT. So I've created what I call the travel marketing machine. Now, I'm sure everybody on this call, you've all dabbled in ChatGPT or at least heard about it, or be thinking, oh, yeah, I've got to get on this stuff. It really is revolutionary from a marketing perspective, and it will make our lives so much easier as a travel marketer, or if you're a business owner, destination marketer. It's going to be so fantastic. So if you don't know me, I have been around a fairly long time between Melbourne and Sydney. So I spent the last 20 years in Sydney, back in Melbourne during COVID. So I went the opposite direction to everybody else. So I have been a travel researcher for a very long time. So I've been researching travel behaviours, research behaviours of travellers, how they plan, how they book travel. Essentially, what I do is help travel businesses and destinations grow all year round. And I do that predominantly with evidence and research, primary research. So I am continuously researching travellers, and some of you will know more recently that's been baby boomers and the over 55s, because I'm a great advocate of efficiency when it comes to market. And right now, boomers have all the money and the time to travel. So I'm going to run through that a little bit with you later on. So I help travel businesses grow all year round, not as a one-off, consistently, no peaks and troughs. So we're so familiar in the travel industry with the feast and famine mode. There's always something going on. So we just have to roll with it now and try and work with it, so that our inquiries and bookings are consistent all year round. And just to reiterate, I do this always through research, especially, when we're living in the environment that we are now with, climate change and weather and, bloody COVID, which I had last week. It's more important than ever to be completely evidence-based. Hope is not a strategy, so we really need to rely on that market research. Now, just a little caveat here. I have launched the travel marketing system. So full disclosure here, what I talk about today is coming from my travel marketing machine. It's a system where I help travel professionals and destination marketers run a successful campaign in 90 days. So often when we learn stuff or we do a course on digital marketing or, even ChatGPT today, what we don't learn is that particular strategy or tactic is part of a bigger scheme, that full circle of campaigning. So this is all about running a campaign successfully in 90 days to get bookings and sales and increase your brand equity. So more importantly, what I love to do is just cut out the wasted time and focus only on the critical work that drives business forward. So I want to help travel tourism professionals get bookings and sales, and that's what it's all about. So no faffing around. Now, before I move ahead with the juicy bits of ChatGPT, I want to put what I talk about today in full context, and why today is so important. Why is ChatGPT and content so important for the travel industry right now, and how we sell and how we market our businesses. So over and over again, what I'm seeing in my own market research and even Google as well, research is showing that travellers are literally putting hundreds of hours of research into their travel planning. They are in a perpetual state of travel planning. So remember in the old days, there used to be a lead time. People would ask me oh, can you find out what's the lead time? How many months in advance do they start planning their travel? That's gone now. People are just planning all year round, 365 days of the year. They're thinking about travellers. It's a high involvement purchase. They are thinking about multiple trips. They have multiple trips on the plan, especially the over 55s, domestic and international. So it's become almost a hobby. This is for the full-on travellers. That's my technical term. But they're always thinking about travel and their next place, where they're going to next. And this is something really interesting that came out last month from Google. So Google research tells us that 52% of travellers made an eventual trip booking decision different from what they intended when they started out. So what that means is that I may have seen a cruise ad on the TV for a particular brand. I've gone to the computer and started searching it because that ad triggered me to the search. And what is happening is people aren't being satisfied by the website that they're being directed to. And that's all about content. So travellers are landing on sites, they're being inspired by your really beautiful ads, you know, from destination marketing to tours to cruises, and they're being directed to websites that lack the content to fulfill the promise of the ads. So what they're doing is they're going down that Google rabbit hole that we all know so well for hours and hours on end, maybe never to be seen again on your web page. So, you know, we've got the travel industry spending millions on advertising right now. May not be you, it's probably not you. It could be hundreds, it could be thousands. So basically, advertising, you've got to ask yourself, is my ad sending my ideal traveller to a crappy website that has just, you know, functional information, no emotion, barely any content, or no trending content? So that is what is happening. So, you know, we're spending millions on the ads, but they're getting to the website and essentially, can you see my screen okay? Yep, there we go. So if your website doesn't capture the excitement or the interest you've promised in your ads, they'll head down that Google rabbit hole. So you've done it yourself probably. So they'll go off and they'll search, you know, you've piqued the interest of the traveller, but you haven't captured them. You haven't kept them on your website. You haven't actually portrayed a trusted brand, if you like. So it's really super important that we have content that keeps them there. And that's what today is all about, is keeping your travellers on your website. Content does so many things, not just give information. It inspires travellers. It creates trust in your brand. It portrays your brand as an expert, as a leader in your category, your destination. It does all sorts of things. So the more content that you have for your customer or your ideal traveller, they're less likely to feel that it's a risk to book with you or to go with you. They're less likely to bounce off your page and go somewhere else. So content means that you might be bookmarked, or, you know, they'll remember you, or they'll book quicker. So it's really, really important. Some other notable trends I want to run by you before we get into it is the over 55s, baby boomers, as I mentioned before, most cashed up travellers right now. They will browse for hours and hours on end. And for those guys, because they've got times, if they're retired, semi-retired, you know, it's a real hobby. They'll have the multiple trips on the go. There's a lot of agents on this session, and I know I can't see you, but I know you're all nodding. They've got the time to research, and we've got some other research here that's come out of the Commonwealth Bank IQ survey last quarter. So this is money being spent on credit cards, their MasterCards. Spending on travel for the over 55s last quarter is up 17%. It is not up in all the other categories because baby boomers and the over 55s are not as, I guess, affected by the cost of living, cosy-livy environment at the moment. So they're likely to have their mortgages paid off or small mortgages. They've been inspired by the fact that they've lost 2 good years of their life. Bugger it, we're spending the kids' inheritance. So that's a big figure. The other thing that you guys need to know about, which is why content is really important, especially for travel agents, is online travel bookings, direct bookings increased by 34%. And that's for the people aged over 55. So this is something you need to be aware of. Now, in my research, I'm researching these people all the time. A travel agent, a good travel agent is worth their weight in gold, but you have to prove that you know more than they do. So that's, again, where content can really help you do the heavy lifting for you. So, again, proving that you're an authority on what you do. Solution is helpful, inspiring, emotionally charged content. So not just factual content, and by that I mean I have a hotel and I describe that in the rooms that there's tea and coffee, there's a toaster, there's a double bed, there's a sink. That's not exciting content. And the photo showing that is not exciting content. So we need to dig deeper on a more emotional level. And I guess particularly around leisure travel, we're solving a particular problem, whether that be sort of reconnection or getting away from it all, or, you know, what's the ultimate trigger? What are we doing? So again, always just keeping in mind on just how much they're spending researching travel. And even, you know, as they go to a travel agent, they're going to spend hours and hours before they go to the travel agent or in conjunction with their travel agent in researching their travels. So, yep, I guess you're hearing me. It's never been more important. And again, just kind of drawing on the fact that content is part of a system. It's part of a marketing strategy. So using what I teach you today kind of does work on its own, but you've actually got to be driving that traffic. You've got to have a bit of context around it. You've got to be following up with the bookings and the sales systems as well. But, you know, it's a very important, I guess, cornerstone aspect of your entire strategy to attract sales and bookings. Any questions so far, Trish? We okay? I'll have a quick look. I guess I would know. I'll keep going. Getting into the nitty-gritty.
Sorry.
Yep.
No new ones. But maybe keep your chat on, because if they do come up, rather than interrupt, I'll pop it up on chat for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
No worries. Can you see? Because I've got the chat. It's big.
Yes.
Can you see my chat?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Yeah.
Just your gorgeous self and your presentation.
Oh,
yeah.
Thanks, lovely. Good on you. Okay, I'll just go down. Okay. So what does it do well? So there's the good, the bad, and the ugly of ChatGPT and AI in general. It's great at creating content. It is great at saving us hours and hours. We all know that we've got to create content. We all learn in these little mini digital marketing courses that we need to create content. Okay. But it's just okay. It will create about 70% of your content, and that's a good 70%. It can create content about all types of segments and experiences. It can create your blogs. It can create social media posts and emails. It can do really quick research for you, insights and trends, which is, what I've traditionally done for my clients. So yeah, there's kind of that aspect of, do you need me anymore? But you do, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. It's a great personal assistant as well. So it can come up with itinerary ideas. Now, back in the old days, when I was at Qantas Collins Street, I was a travel agent back then. People would come in and say, "Oh, I want to go somewhere, but I don't know where I want to go." Don't you love that question? So it's great for this sort of stuff. Have you got a family? Who are you going with? What do you like? The hot, cold? So it's great answering those sorts of questions. It's great for travel planning in general. And I'm going to take you through a full demo in a minute. And it's also good for things like website reviews. So you can put your website in there and ask ChatGPT, can you improve my website so that I get more bookings or more inquiries? And it will offer up suggestions on how to do those things. So it's really is like your little personal assistant, personal marketing assistant. But again, beware, it doesn't do everything. And, people ask me, can AI truly capture the essence of inspirational travel content? So again, it will craft about 70% of the foundational content. The 30%, this very, very important 30% needs the human touch. So that's the last bit. And that 30% will be the latest trends and insights, for example, that I uncover in my primary research, to truly make it connect with your ideal customer. If you don't come in and tweak it, and I'll show you how I mean tweak it or even put your insight into it, your personal human knowledge, you will risk your content sounding the same as everybody else's content. Now, one of the key reasons why you will sound the same as everybody else is that ChatGPT right now only draws from information up until April this year, April 2023. So like that Commonwealth Bank stat, those two stats that I showed you about the over 55s, that would not be part of a source, if you like, in ChatGPT. So in terms of the very latest information, travel information, visa information, all that sort of stuff, it's a bit useless from that perspective. You need to be aware that it can't source the data. It can't tell the truth, the difference between truth and fake. This is an absolute biggie. There is a huge amount of fake and untrue information on the internet. We all know that, but this is something to be acutely aware of when you're writing travel content, because the world's such a crazy place these days. You do need those human eyes. It can be general and vague. And again, I've seen content come out that really kind of is words, but it says nothing. So again, I'm going to show you how to make it more specific. And of course, it can't draw from personal experience. If you're a travel expert, travel destination, or an agent, and you've been to a destination on a famil, or, you probably might have been on that fantastic Virgin cruise from Sydney to Melbourne that went on last week, you can talk about that cruise, having been on there and experiencing the cruise, unlike anybody else. And that's the beauty of famils. You can really drill down on very specific experiences, and you can tell when you're reading something where someone's been there, you can really tell the difference. So it's really important that you understand when you're creating this sort of content that it can be vague. And, if we don't go in and give it the human touch at the end, your content will sound the same as everybody else's. And we're seeing that across all categories, not just travel. Now, if you use agencies, you need to be really aware. So by agencies, I mean content creation agencies, digital agencies, ad agencies that don't have that deep knowledge of the travel and tourism industry. They might be using younger writers. You really need to be very specific about briefing the agencies and making sure that they are doing the human touch at the very end. Again, they're churning out articles all the time. The difference is I spend time at the end, and I'm a human who, you know, has been in the travel industry for 30 years. Okay, demo time. I'm going to go right into it now. And just, I don't see any new questions. Does anyone have anything before I attempt to switch screens and go into my ChatGPT? So I'll do that right now. And what I might do is just, wait for questions. Can people see my ChatGPT screen at the moment? Is that a yes or a no? Trish is saying yes, so everyone can see my screen. And tell me, have you seen this screen before? I'd love if you can give me a yes if you've been into ChatGPT in the Q&A. Give me a yes. That would be great. So I can, you know, get a general idea. A couple of hand raises, a couple of yeses. Pete, Brad, I'm not surprised. Robin, Steve. Okay. So we've got a real mixed bag here. Sigrid, of course you have. If you ever want to write a book, I have the lady for you. She's on here. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, this is ChatGPT. If you've never been here before, this is as complicated as it gets. It's so simple. When you go through it, you go, oh my God, why haven't I been here before? So blank screen on the left-hand side of ChatGPT, this black section here, you have what you call your chats, which is your little projects, I guess, your content projects. And it's literally asking how I can help you today. So we've got a couple of suggestions from ChatGPT here, which, you can plan an itinerary to experience wildlife in the Australian outback. Actually, I might just start by pressing that one and see what it comes out. 4-day itinerary to experience the wildlife in Australia. Now, Trish, I'm not going to have a look at the chat. If you have questions or comments, or if people want to, even if you want to bring forward an example, if you want to bring forward your destination, and I can play around with your destination or your business, I'm really happy to do that. So right now I've asked ChatGPT to give me the 4-day itinerary as per the suggestions. And this is what it's given me. Arrival, Alice Springs. Again, it's pretty basic. So if you were to do this without pressing that button, that suggestion, I would just write this in. Can you give me a 4-day itinerary to experience the wildlife in the Australian outback? Now, it's given me pretty vague, I guess, information back. And the one thing about ChatGPT is it's only as good as the instructions it's given. And we call these prompts. So in the nerdy AI sphere, there's a thing called a prompt engineer. So these are people that make up prompts. So what I'm doing for my travel clients at the moment is I'm making travel prompts for their brands. So this is just a generic prompt. So if I'm going through flying to Alice Springs, visit Kings Canyon, that's your pretty standard itinerary that you would get in any Australian brochure of any Australian tour company. Am I right? Yes. So if you were to print this on your website and I came to it, say Rosie, who is 67, she'd go, oh yeah, okay, that's kind of the same as the last company I was looking at. So I would ask ChatGPT, can you give me more detail? Please, don't forget your manners. Okay. More detail. So here we go. So we've got a hotel, breakfast. Still pretty generic for my liking. Because if I'm Rosie, I want to experience, almost experience in my lounge room what I'm going to experience there. It's better, much better. Tips. I still want a bit more. Since this is a wildlife tour, this is a wildlife tour. Please also give examples of wildlife I will see. Here we go. Black-footed rock wallabies. Eagles and falcons. If you've ever been outback Australia, just seeing them in their natural environment and landscape is just, it's a true wonder. Here we go. So you can see here, we're getting more and more specific, and then you can ask it to combine the two articles and just keep going on and on and on until you find something you like, and you can literally copy and paste it. So here is the copy. You just copy it and paste it into your WordPress website or a a Word document, whatever you like. Okay, so what I might do now, so you sort of got the gist of how it works and how simple this thing is. So what I might do now is I've created a few prompts from my research and a few prompts to use as best practice. So are we okay from here? Does anybody have any questions before I go on to the next bit?
Bron, there's just a request in when you were asking about if there is anything specific.
Yeah.
Ellen's interested in New Zealand, if that's appropriate to go there at all.
Yeah, New Zealand. Anything particular? Do you do New Zealand tours, Ellen? Ellen or Alan tours? Okay. So, one of the things that I did forget to talk about is that there are two versions of ChatGPT. There's a free version and there is a paid version. Now, the paid version is $20 a month. It's well worth it to do that because it just brings back better content from your questions. The only problem with that right now, ChatGPT 4, which is the paid version, there is a wait list for that. So they'll need to, I don't know what that means, that they'll need to free up more spaces. So right now, if you haven't got an account, you're still restricted to ChatGPT 3.5, which is still really, really good. But when you can, I would get on the wait list because this thing's not going away. There's going to be so much content created as a result of this in the travel or just everywhere. And you really do want to be on the forefront of this. This is big. This is the start of something very, very huge. Okay, so one of the things let's try another one. Give me, okay, I'm going to go back in. Paste. So give me 10 use cases for ChatGPT in the travel and tourism industry. Customer service. this is where travel agents can use it. So if you're a franchisee or a franchisor, you can certainly create, so much destination information, tips, travel alerts. Now, this is interesting. So travel alerts and updates. You know how we were talking before about ChatGPT drawing on content from before April 2023, which is something to really be aware of. What it does now is it can actually go into Bing. So even though it's creating content from before April 2023, it can research Bing, which is, the alter ego Microsoft version of Google. So we can, let's have a look. Travel content. What are travel alerts from Australia in December 2023? So what it does, it should do, doing a research with Bing. So anything that makes sure, did you see that? So it's going through all the different travel websites. So this, when it goes to Bing, it takes a little while. So just if you're looking for this sort of stuff that needs very recent information, just make sure it does do that pivot to researching with Bing. Visiting the bomb, Lordy, why? Let's see, crisis 24. Here we go. General travel advisory. For Australia. So for Australia from different countries. So I should have typed in from Australia. There you go. The little nuances. It takes everything at face value. All right. You get the gist. So what I want to do now is talk about, I guess, how to get the best out of ChatGPT for your content, for building those content blocks, the evergreen content that will form the basis of your campaigns moving forward. So I'm going to use, I will do New Zealand in a second. I'm going to do a little one here. So my thinking here is accessible tourism. Now, the thing that I've learned, let's start a new one for this. So whenever I want to start a new chat, I go up here to the left, this bit here, and I get a brand new blank page. So my thinking here is accessible tourism is a big trend, particularly amongst the over 60s. And we know that the over 60s are spending lots of money on travel right now. So if I'm a travel agent, I might want to write a blog post about some of the best accessible destinations around the world. And when we talk accessible, it's not just about wheelchairs. We know from the research that most accessible travel and tourism is actually driven by age-related issues, I guess. So you might, I've got a friend that wears 2 hearing aids, for example. They may have had a hip replacement and just have mobility issues. That is what it's all about. So I just want to know, if I go to a national park, is there a platform that I can walk on so that I don't fall over? So that's kind of what accessibility means when we talk about it in terms of the growth. So we've put in here, write a blog post about the best accessible destinations around the world. Let's see what it gives us. I like that first paragraph. Barcelona. Accessible beaches. Gardens by the Bay. Okay, Singapore, Orlando. It's given me a good list to start with. And to me, again, anyone can put this list up. one thing I know from the research as well is that if I am an accessible traveller, I need information. My information needs are very, very high, because if I have the right information, it diminishes the risk associated with going to that place or to that hotel. So we need lots of details on just how accessible friendly they are. So I think I do have a prompt. Let me just see. So okie dokie. What I'm going to do here, no, I'll do this, is, see, I lost my notes. So that's why I'm going a bit blind. So I'm just going to ask, this is what I would do normally. Can you give me more details, and also some specific examples in each destination. Each destination. I feel really rude that I don't say please. This is great, public transport. Accessible beaches, the Opera House, hearing augmented systems, which is great for people that wear hearing aids. This is really terrific. Now, the ideas, I'm getting here more and more ideas. You could have from this, so you've got a few good destinations there. What you could do is do entire blog pieces on each city. Accessible Washington, DC, accessible Singapore. So I would go further and deeper until, you know, you could have a 1,000-word blog piece for those destinations. And this, as I mentioned before, it just positions you as a total authority in that accessible, because there's a lot of people doing accessible travel and tourism now. Information's a big requirement, as I mentioned, but just having really good articles like this really helps them understand that you know what they need, and therefore you are an authority. I might ring you or contact you or consider your destination. Now, as I mentioned before, we are only as good as the information that we put into ChatGPT. So let's have a look here. What I want to have a chat to you about now is guide you on the RICE framework. So the RICE framework helps you create very optimized prompts, if you like, to get the best out of ChatGPT. So let's have a look. RICE here. Trish, can you see my notepad here as well, or just the screen of ChatGPT?
I'm seeing your internet screen with the black sidebar.
Okay, all right. All right, well, let me just put it in here. I will copy this. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is going to ask GPT. I should give it a name, Bruce or something. I'll ask Bruce. Can you create a detailed blog post? Now, is it Alan or Al? Did you want your article aimed at anyone in particular? Do you want to do accessible guide to New Zealand or coach touring?
45 plus.
Okay.
And their families.
Families? Okay, well, let's just do...
approximately 21 days in duration. And then she's added from Catalonia and Spain.
Okay, all right. So let's start with New Zealand for families. can you create a detailed blog post on New Zealand for families using the RICE framework, please? I think I'm completely mad. But, you know, apparently it's going to take over the world. So here's RICE. You need ChatGPT to assume the role. So describe who you are. Well, let's see what it comes out with. It's going to probably, my role might be a travel blogger, or I might be a travel agent. I might be a destination manager. You know, it could be a tour operator. So whoever you are, and I'll show you where you can put all of these things in later on after this exercise. Instructions, explain what you want step by step, context, some background or setting information, constraints. So my constraint here is families, and give a few examples. So this is what creates, you know, a really good starter framework for anything that you want to push out. So let's see what it brings back. And we can refine it according to the RICE principles and frameworks. So it knows that I'm a travel researcher and content creator. And I'll show you how it knows that. So it's actually giving me almost like a reverse brief. Okay, so here we go. So it's given me a reverse briefing. It's saying I'm a travel researcher and content creator, because that's what I am, specialising in family travel. My goal is to provide insightful, practical information. So it's just regurgitating, yep, this is what I want, instructions, yep, context, Hobbiton. That looks pretty good to me. Now, please create a blog article with these principles, these RICE. What have I got here? Using it's the RICE. Yeah, it is RICE. So designed to position my brand as an authority in family travel to New Zealand. There we go. Now, of course, you would take out these subheadings because, again, it takes everything literally, and this is why you need the human at the end. But, you know, this is a great place to start. You know, I'm an expert. I've been an expert for 30 years. Our brand is dedicated to providing the most comprehensive and enriching travel experiences for families. So, yeah, you'd get rid of that. We delve deeply into understanding New Zealand's diverse offerings, you know, Maori heritage, adrenaline pumping adventures, ensuring families have an array of choices. So this, it seems like it's taking a mix of who I am and what I want it to be. And let me show you why that is. Let me introduce you to the settings. So it's kind of coming back a bit kind of disheveled. The reason this is because I have given it custom instructions. So custom instructions come with ChatGPT 4. So again, get yourself on the wait list for that if you haven't got it already. So this is almost like, I guess, an ongoing instruction about who I am, who I'm writing for. So for me, I'm bearing my soul here. This is what I've got here. I am a travel researcher, marketer, and content creator for the travel and tourism industry. I'm highly experienced with over 30 years of working in the travel and tourism industry. So this is all about what I want ChatGPT to know about me when they answer the questions. If you were doing this, you could have, you know, I am a destination manager or a destination marketer, and I look after specialising in Daylesford. I think Steve's here. So Daylesford, I want to promote Daylesford to Victorians and broader Australia. I'm a brand ambassador, blah, blah, blah. So you put in there what you are promoting. And down here, you can put, how would you like ChatGPT to respond? So in this section here, you can talk about your tone of voice, how you want to be, how formal or casual should ChatGPT, how long or short should responses be, how do you want to be addressed, should ChatGPT have opinions or remain neutral? So I've put in here some pretty, use simple language, avoid jargon, use real life examples. This is really important here, and I'm happy to give this to you because I've come across instances where ChatGPT has just made shit up, basically. So you've got to really be aware. You know, they'll come up with fictitious characters and examples, and I'm like, oh, that sounds a bit weird. So again, real life examples, don't make them up, please. Make complex subjects easy to understand, explain the why and the benefits. Emotions really important in travel content, so we can focus and write content in a way with clear headings. I'm going to put headings there, fix that up, and bullet points so that I can skim read. So that's how travellers are reading their content these days. So if I can have my articles at the best possible, I guess, output before the human comes into it, that's a lot better. And please don't place emojis in my content. So content created by ChatGPT has loads of emojis in it, so which I don't really like. And it's a red flag to content created by ChatGPT for anyone reading it. Please write in Australian English, not American. Sometimes I create content on behalf of my brands. I will tell you when this is happening and I will instruct you to do so. So guess what? I didn't instruct it to do so when I was creating content on behalf of my New Zealand tour operator. I don't want ChatGPT to have opinions. I create content based on facts, research, and evidence. Really, really important because, you know, it's increasingly so that we get fake stuff put on the internet. Okay, what else are we going to do here? All right. What I might do next, what do we have there again? We had a Spanish one, did we, Trish? Let me have a look. New Zealand. So travel direct. So so we're looking for tours from Catalonia and Spain. Okay, that's Ellen. Anyone else, feel free to put in there. You know, we're all freewheeling it at the moment. So I am a travel agent. with a client who wants to do a tour. Might do to Catalonia and Spain, just to become Australian, to Catalonia and Spain. I'll throw, she's a solo traveller. Please, who wants to create an itinerary for 7 days. I'm going to put detailed itinerary. Here we go. Again, pretty basic stuff. I've been writing a lot about solo travellers lately. So with ChatGPT, it does actually get to know you. And in my research, and I've been researching solo travellers for years now, safety is still the #1 criteria. So always include safety in your, blog pieces if you're going to do it. So safety, accommodation, well-reviewed hotels. Okay, can you give me more detailed information and examples of restaurants and hotels that might be friendly in these destinations for solo travellers? Network error. Sometimes it does go down. Okay, I might, here we go. We've got some specific restaurants. So if you have people going solo traveling, these are great. And of course, if I were you, I would go off and fact check and check out the hotels. Of course, you would do that. I love this suggestion for bar seating, which is great as well. So what I might say is now can you turn this into a blog post for solo travellers? Let's see what it comes up with. And this little arrow goes down. So when we've now got a solo travellers, so it's ignoring me and my request for Australian English, have you noticed? So here we go. Embrace dining alone. I love solo travelling. I'm a family of 5, so anytime I can get away is awesome. So now what I might do is go, okay, this is awesome. I really like this, and I'm going to maximise the trend in solo travelling. Can you now create 5 Facebook posts from this blog article? So what I would advise you to do is put this article on your website, put these Facebook posts with direct action, the link going to this article on your Facebook page. And again, it's just getting people there. Let's see what happens. Facebook posts with emojis. Here we go. And I'm going to do something else for you. This is something, so this is an example of what we do in my program. So we will create entire campaigns off the back of the trends that I'm finding in our research. And then what I might say is, okay, this is great. Now, can you create a nurture and an email nurture sequence on traveling solo in Spain. Say with 4 emails. So what this means is if you have an email list, again, we can send out a sequence about solo travel and get people to, you know, talk about the article and get people to link through to that article once they get their email. So we've got, so what I need to put in here is, okay, we'll regenerate. I'm going to stop it and say, create the emails that link through to the blog on the website. So you can stop it when you realise you haven't told it something. This is so good, isn't it? How easy is this? So here we go, link back to Barcelona post. So link back to the post. So this is just, as you can see, it's a game changer in marketing. It's really, really awesome. So what I want to do now is I will take questions as well. We can do some more examples. But while I've still got some of you here, I'll just go through a little bit. Where am I? Okie dokie. I want to present my screen again. Okay. So are we back to the screen here, to the presentation? Okay, I'm assuming we're back to the presentation, Trish?
We are.
Yeah, great, thank you.
Yeah. Can I ask just a logistics question?
Yeah.
What time does this go to?
I've got it booked until 10:30, but we're winding up now. It's finished. But just
yeah, we're in Q&A. I just, because it wasn't kind of put out there, I thought I'd just check in for everyone's sake.
Okay, cool. So what I want to do now is tell you about what I do. You don't need to stay for this, but I've got a great offer if you decide to come with me today. So I have created the travel marketing machine based on not only ChatGPT, but comes with all of the primary research that I do on travellers. It's a campaign program where you actually get a campaign at the end of the 90 days. So it's a 3-month program. You get access to all of my traveller research, the primary research. You create evidence-based content with me. So I will be actually guiding you through the entire program. And we only work on programs that are designed to actually increase your bookings and sales and, you know, ultimately brand equity. So what I want to also mention here too is that in February, I will be having a live kickoff day in Melbourne where we all come together live, which is something that we don't do very often these days. And I guess kick off and plan for the next year or so we'll run through my research. We'll run through, where is it? The 2024 travel trends from the primary research, the framework to focus on, how to get your time back. So again, my actual critical focus for everything that I do is just not focusing on things like, for example, organic social media posts. They're kind of a nice to have, but generally speaking, they don't drive sales and bookings for your business. So we are going to work on what actually does, and we'll do some really cost-effective email campaigns, working with your database and so forth. We're going to design your campaigns and plan your campaigns. So that's really awesome on that live kickoff day. Now, I am launching this program, and you guys are really awesome for coming along today, particularly if you haven't come across me before. So the travel sales and marketing system, as I mentioned, is that 90-day program. From February, I will be charging $5,500 for the program. But because you all came along today and listened, I'm actually going to give the first 10 sign-ups this entire program for $1,000. So that is just to say thanks for showing up to this today. You will get training on everything that I do for 3 months. You'll get guidance on your projects. You will get live coaching every single week where I will go through all of the basic principles of marketing, with little or no money and little or no time. We're also going to have a thing called office hours, which means I sit with you for a couple of hours and you show me your work. So if you're working on a campaign or working on something at the moment, you can just check in. I'm sitting at my desk and you can show me, and I can critique it and say, yep, just change this word, send it out like this, change this photo. So it's a really hands-on coaching program. You get a support group in Facebook, and most importantly, whenever you feel stuck, you will get a 20-minute session with me whenever you want, because I really want you to work, and I really want this to work as well, which is why, I've got such a great deal. You will get ChatGPT prompts. Now, I have created prompts based on all of my research. So this is stuff that no one else will ever get. So you'll get prompts created if you're a destination. You'll get prompts created if you want to showcase destination like a local, which again is one of the trends. If you want to showcase, if you want to write something around wellness, which is another trend, accessible, and you'll get so much information to help you create the content and the campaigns that you need to really, have that consistency of sales all year round. You don't have the feast or famine. And again, my ongoing access to primary research, which will really give you the edge on, what's happening in the traveler world and mindset. So giving you the edge, giving you the research that's not available in ChatGPT. So this is a great offer, as you can see, all kicking off and starting off live in Melbourne in February, on the 6th of February. First 10 places for $1,000. This is such a good deal considering you're getting the primary research as well. It's this price because I want you to help me build it as well, and you'll be with me forever. So again, put in the Q&A or the Q&A if you are a goer. You can also email me or text me as well to let me know that you're interested or a definite yes. But either way, it's going to be really, really great. And, I've been around a long time. And so I'm just thought nothing better than to give back. So it's kind of a bit of a, I guess, post-COVID, this is what I want to do now. So any questions? What have we got? Okay. Thank you. Thanks for jumping off, Sigrid. I'm in Australia, so this is AUD. So Ellen, AUD, not USD. So this is a really good deal for you. I should have put that. Robin, yes, it's absolutely relevant. Lucy, got it. Thank you. Okay, we have a few gone already. So please, if you want to talk to me further, I'm here all day today as well. Lucy knows me and she knows it's a really great deal. So definitely, honestly, it will never be this price ever again. And if you know the price of research, like if you wanted to buy my research before COVID, my traveller research, it was $5,000 just to buy the research, nothing else. So this really will position you better than your competitors. And the travel landscape is just changing so fast. So I'd love to take you through it and create some awesome campaigns and also give you some accountability as well, because that's one of the things. With accountability, get on it, guys. I've got a fan. Lucy, you're awesome. Thank you. Get on it. Lucy, I owe you a drink. So any more questions other than, all right. Just in the questions. Usually when I say any more questions, I'm about to wind up. People will leave. So I'll let you know what's going to happen now. I will contact you guys after this and just, have a chat. Even if you don't want to go through this deal, I'm just interested to know what you're up to, what you're finding out there in the travel and tourism industry, how business is going. Literally just ask me anything. All righty. Okay, I am going. My information is down here. Oops, it's gone now. But yeah, you know where I am. Great to meet you all. And hopefully we'll see you on the inside very soon. Take care, guys. Bye.